Amy Medford with Medford Knife and Tool, and
Jack Medford.
Jack Medford from Medford Knife and Tool. Who are we sending knives to today? Do you even know?
Blade HQ.
Hey, Blade HQ, and they are located in.
I don't know.
You don't know? Can you read?
Well, Pleasant
It's been a while since you've been in school. But Pleasant Grove, Utah. We all know Blade HQ. Listen, if you don't know Blade HQ, then you're new on the scene, and you got to check them out. They are in Pleasant Grove, Utah, and they are a huge reseller, and we are happy to be doing business with them. Huge.
Huge. Very big business.
All right, so Jack and I are going to take a look and see what's headed their way today. What do you know, Jack? Do you know what's on the table?
A slim flipper.
A Swami, Slippy, Slapsy, Samsonite. That was way off. That was way off. This is a Swift. It's a Swift Auto.
Slim Swift.
They're close. They look similar, don't they? The biggest difference between the Slim and the Swift is the Swift is all titanium and it's a button lock, and it's an auto, right? So it's auto. It's deployed by the button. It's got the slide that locks it into place, and the chassis is all aluminum. Okay, now you know. So Praetorian Swift Auto, we have one in PVD drop point with crimson red handles, and that one is, yeah. So they have previously done a small run of Swift in 20 CV, and this is a straggler. So this you're going to see a very, very, very maybe small V laser engraved on the blade. So that's 20 CV. I would assume they still have some on their website. This one's a standard S35VN PVD Tanto with blue handles. And then almost everything else on the table is the Nosferatu flipper. That also has. That's got a good D10 and. Oh!
That's smooth.
Almost didn't do it. There we go. So we have tumble blade, PVD handle and spring, standard clip. Then we have a blackout. The only part of the knife that isn't coated is the button deploy. Button release, I should say. Okay? And then we have tumble bronze. All tumbled. What do we call, what's the nickname for the all tumbled? Think of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Terminator?
Terminator, yeah. And then we have tumbled in blue. Love the new blue with the new finish. Ooh, and then we have a few that were custom. We did faced handles. So essentially that is, if you're curious about what that is, it's just running a smoothing. We run it on sandpaper. And they use I don't know what grit they use, but we smooth out the surface, and then when it's anodized or flamed, it comes out a little more brilliantly. The faced and flaming is probably the most popular that's done in conjunction with that process. And then we have one Nosferatu Auto. Oh, that's right. So they are similar, right? The handles are cut very similarly. The Auto is obviously an Auto. It's got not quite a dagger, but it's more like a dagger than the sheep's foot blade. It's got a false edge on the back, so it's ground only on the bottom edge. And it's got a wicked sharp edge. Then we have, what's this, Jack?
The Praetorian. There are so many. I don't know.
It's a Praetorian G.
Praetorian G with
And
the
G
Tonto.
means, yeah, and G means that it's a G10 handle as opposed to all titanium, right? What does the D mean?
Drop point.
No, drop point, it's not even a drop point. It's the blade steel. So D is for D2, S is for S35, 3 would be for 3V. Tumbled back side. And then, what's this one, Jack?
I don't
Right.
know.
So clearly Jack needs to go to Medford school.
I don't know any of these knives.
Clearly. So it's a USMC Fighter Flipper, which is the folding version of our USMC Fixed Fighter. Really statuesque, beautiful knife. Boy, this one's taken off like crazy. Again, S35VN tumble blade, bronze handles. And I have one more knife on the table, so let's talk for just a second. You know, occasionally, we're not perfect, obviously. No, it is, right? So occasionally we have a PVD coating that has a little nick or a scratch. You know, when the blades, handle springs, when all the parts go out to coatings, they're thoroughly cleaned and the surface is supposed to be completely free of any particles. And sometimes it just doesn't get cleaned all the way. And when that happens, the PVD adheres to the particle. And when the particle gets brushed away, you'll see the coating that is, you know, you'll see the raw titanium that's underneath. So this Nosferatu flipper was supposed to be one of the versions of the tumble blade with the PVD. And there was a teeny tiny, like as big as a needle pin, super, super small. And you lay the laser coating right over it and it just cleans it right up. It conceals it.
Looks cool.
And it looks cool. That's the gun grip pattern. And this is one of the few knives that we're able to lay it on both handles. Why is that? Do you know? What does laser do?
Laser.
It's hot, right?
Yeah.
It gets hot, really hot.
Yeah.
So if it's on this portion of the blade, this portion of the knife, the locking, what does the heat do? Heat causes the titanium to warp a little bit. And that's probably not good. Because you've been in the room, you put a couple knives together, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what happens if this titanium, if the spring side warps a little bit? They're already hard to put together, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. He knows. So if we heat the spring, then it causes functionality issues. And Mike knows too, right?
Yep.
We want as few problems as possible.
Few problems.
We are
as
going to create
possible.
no problems.
No problems at all.
But this one, there's no spring relief. So how cool is that? So Nosferatu flipper with the gun grip laser engraved on both handle and spring. All these other knives, everything on the table. Headed to Blade HQ in Pleasant Grove, Utah. And that is about it for today. It was nice hanging with you, buddy.
Yeah, it was nice. I know it was great.
You know, it was great. It's great.
Good, you know?
All right. So Amy Medford, I'm out, and Sly Stallone, he's out. Till the next time.